Oh my God, hold on, let me mute.
Moving around the canvas like an infinite notebook. So let's try and see what happens when we zoom out. As we see, we can zoom out there, and then I can bring my brush up and I can just draw out here, and then I can zoom out fully on this stroke, and I can keep drawing here as well. So it's really nice to just get a lot of ideas on an infinite canvas, and then you can crop it to export whenever you want to export like a specific area of your infinite canvas. Um,
Oh my god, hold on, let me mute.
Templates like we have. We also have book for comics, and as we can see, we can also make a vector or raster layer at any time when we're starting a project, but it doesn't matter because we can use these simultaneously once we create a project as well. We won't be locked off to just a vector file or a raster file. So we see we could jump into the manga preset, and we'll be given these guides that basically are just the guidelines you would normally have when you're creating a comic on your template. And from here, we can see the pages toolbar. And on the pages toolbar, we can basically just make more pages. Now we can put another single page if we want it to be like a basic spread where we would draw on this side and then we would draw something on this side. Now, when we create a single page, we can move it around by itself. It won't be controlled by the other page next to it. And we can rearrange the layouts. We can also create a double page
I
if
think
we
I've been
want them
muted
to be
all,
grouped
like, the whole
together,
stream.
and we can just draw on them as if they are a splash page. And when we move the pages, they'll also move alongside each other. So for our comics, if we wanted to, we could also just use our shape tools. And because the shape tools work very simply, we can just create, let's say, a circle for our chat bubble. And then we could add 2 lines, and we can add a rectangle as well for the frame. And after that, because we have vector tools, we can just erase everything at an intersection. And there we have our chat bubble as well as our frame. So really cool. And we don't need to drag handles with the vectors in this application. It works like Adobe Flash. So we can just grab our vector lines and move them, simple as that, which will also be
What?
extremely helpful for animation. So
What?
how else does Uma Pen set itself apart from its competition? Well, let's see. Let me jump into a file. The first thing is that its customization to make your user experience good is beyond what it usually is in any application. So let's see what we can do in UmoPen. For our user interface, we can move just about everything. You see how I have this toolbar on the right? I can just hold on it, and like a phone or tablet, once we hold on our tool, we can just move it anywhere, like how we would move an app on our phone. And now my tools are on the left side, and it organizes everything in order, as well as my colors that I had on this side already. I can move this back, and we can use any of the 4 corners to organize our user interface, essentially. We can also choose to hide things that we don't want to see. For example, I'm not using the brush tool, or I'm not using the shape tool. So I can close them off, and now after I've clicked them, they are no longer on my toolbar. Much smaller toolbar, I only see what I need to see. I can also just bring them back whenever I need them, super quickly. No need to jump through menus to do all of this. What else is cool is that we can customize just about everything we put out. We have these layers looking like this, but I can turn it off of compact mode and we can have bigger layers. I can also drag these toolbars. Now, let's say I also have layers set to be in this toolbar at the top, even though I had it on the side. If I X out my layers, it will contextually pop back up here, and now I can use layers like a pop-up tab rather than continuously having it at the side. I prefer it at the side, so I'll put it back. But other things we can do is we can go into deeper settings. We can change the highlight color for our whole application, and it works so fast. We also have a dark mode, which looks really good. And we have a great theme for both the dark and the light mode, if the light mode is too light for you.
Ah,
From here, we can also change the scale of the UI.
no. Oh, wait, it's up
We
here
can
now.
change the scale of the fonts in the application. We can
Oh,
change how
okay.
frames look
That's how you
on
do
our
that.
timeline. So right here, you'll see it looks a little bit hollow. When we draw, it will become a full circle, and whenever there's an empty component frame, it will be transparent. If we change the style, it will just look a little bit cleaner. We can also change how our two colors look, though that doesn't change how it works really. And we can also both show where we're drawing off screen in this application. This will only work with vector layers, or we can decide to crop all of that and not see what's off screen by going to view and clicking on show pasteboard content. I prefer to see what's going off the screen so I can make bigger drawings sometimes. Additionally, if you don't like these floating toolbars, you can click flush toolbars and you can make them have this bordered style like a regular application would. That might look cleaner to you. I'm going to go back to light mode for the sake of the video, but let's just see what else we can do. Something we also can do is we can click on thumbnail view on our timeline, and then we'll show thumbnails. I'm going to change it back to classic mode, and when we draw, we'll see a thumbnail of our drawing on our timeline. It's pretty cool. And then whenever you want a bunch of space to draw, you can just hide any toolbars that you have on the side. And now look at that. It is so clean for drawing. If I want even more space, I would put it back to the flush toolbars. And now we have these floating toolbars and it looks extremely spacious. Last but not least, we can also move our timeline
Should
from
I
the
turn
top
off
or the bottom
subscriber only mode?
automatically
I've seen
in
that
the
there's like
application. Now,
4 or 5
some
people
cool
who've come
things in this
through
application. One
and just left because they couldn't say anything. Yeah, that's probably an issue. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, nope, not yet. Well, there we go. Save. Sorry about that, chat. Y'all are free to chat as
as
much as
cool
you
as by
want.
far is that we can draw with textured brushes on a vector layer. And this is something I've only really seen in Blender and in Clip Studio Paint. But as you can see, I'm drawing on a vector layer and I can use this textured brush. Not to mention, you can import both your Photoshop and your Clip Studio Paint brushes. So there's no need to try and start over in this application. What I did here is I just imported a bunch of my different brushes from Clip Studio. And you'll see I can just change to a bunch of different brushes that I want to use that are textured on the vector layer. Do note that the textured brushes will only work on the pen tool in the vector layer. But what's so cool about drawing with vector is that it's so flexible, and then you can also make so many edits to your drawings, which is really beneficial for animation and art. So for example, let's say if I had drew a guideline on this face to get down the proportions I wanted for the face, right? I can then go and use my eraser tool and put it to split, which basically cuts the line at intersections. And when we go over our
At
drawing,
Rocket Old
we can just
Handle
keep doing this
Hey, what's
said,
and
going on,
restore
Rocket
all
League
of our
Yo.
Handle?
clean lines and get rid of all the
At
scratchy
Rocket
ones
Old
that
Handle
we used while we were
said,
drafting our drawing
can we choose
originally.
now?
Like I said, I'm kind of done with Rocket League at the moment. I can only play for so long. Sorry about that, homie. I just got this new animation software I want to try out. It seems I've been using a little bit wrong though. We're actually gonna go in and clean this up. And oop, where'd my? I just had my glove and then I took it off for some reason. I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's in my lap.
At Rocketalg Handle. Said. Okay. At Rocketalg Handle. Said. It's okay.
Right, so we got. Oh wait, that's brush. Um. Okay, yeah. So you can just erase the whole shape. Cool.
At onbanhiu 2061. Said. Hello.
Hello. How is it going? Right, so instead of using the brush, we're gonna use the pen.
At Rocketalg Handle. Said. Hi. At
How's it going?
onbanhiu 2061. Said. Name.
Name. Ah,
At
bruh.
onbanhiu 2061. Said. 676,767.
Yeah, that's about what I was expecting to be read out loud.
At Rocketalg Handle.
Wait, that's not it.
Said. Good artist.
Thank you. Oh, there's the brushes panel. Okay, so we've got gouache. I like gouache. We've also got dry brush. It's a little gross. Yuck.
At Rocketalg Handle. Said. You're a good artist.
I'm not really doing much yet. I'm kind of just testing out the different brushes. Oh, I can just clear frame? Oh, sick! Remove frame, delete frame, duplicate frame, new frame. Okay. Next frame, previous frame, and play. This is the repeat bar. So I put this all the way out here. Alright, I know what we're doing. I know what we're animating. We're gonna animate the cat. The cat is gonna be our first animation we do in this program. You guys ready for this shit? Alright, so I really don't like this brush to be honest. I'm gonna just switch back. Wait, the I just realized I'm not having to zoom out every time I do brush stroke anymore. That's great. Click. Okay, so instead of that, let's go.
At Rocketolg Handle said, what brush are you using?
What brush am I using? Default ass brush. Haven't got much brush yet. Mouse controls. Click. Oh, so middle click works with that, but not with the. Oh, there we go. Cool. Hmm.
At Rocketolg Handle said, what are you drawing?
Trying to draw a cat, if I'm being honest. I need to take some reference video to to really get what I want to do, but not so real quick. Let me add a couple more layers. All right, so this one I'm gonna call this back legs sketch, body sketch.
At Rocketolg Handle said, I'm in one's RN.
Word. Hope you win. Front leg sketch. All right, with the body, it's just gonna be the blobs. All right. Oh, it's because we don't have any more keyframes. I forgot to make new keyframes on these layers. Okay. Okay. There we go. Where is my... There it is. Onion skin. But wait, why is it not showing up? There we go. Ah, okay.
At Rocketolg Handle. Said. I'm winning.
Good shit. Ah, let's brush. Actually, gonna take this to like frame 9 or 10. Then I guess, yeah, that works. Paste this shit in and put it. Right, we're gonna do the front legs first. Lock these layers.
At Rocket'll handle. Said. Can you play Rocket soon?
I'm not too sure, dude. I've got a lot of stuff I gotta do today. I was only on for the short time earlier. Oh, this is a locked layer, you're right.
At Rocket'll handle. Said. I just won a match 10. 1.
Hell yeah, good shit. Oh wait, no. That's my Oh wait, no, it's not. That could be blue. Middle body. Turquoise is fine. There we go.
At Rocket'll handle. Said. Do you play Roblox?
Nah. I am a 23-year-old man. I don't really play Roblox. Not really my game. I did see the other day when I was streaming, I played or I was animating or drawing some just some random shit that people were telling me to draw. And there was this one thing I drew that was from a Roblox game. Uh fuck, I can't remember the name of it, but it was really cool. And I went and saw some gameplay of it. It was like a floating crystallized head with some like flowers, and it was really sick. So yeah, I know there's like some cool ass shit out there on there. Do I get any kind of color palette with like my previously used stuff, or is this it? Not really seeing it.
At Rocket'll handle. Said. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
At Rocket'll handle. Said. I know that.
The fucking something guardian. That's what I remember about it.
At Rocketolg Handle, said. Can you draw after the cat Olimbo PLS?
Oh, Lambo. I've never drew a Lambo before, but just for you, buddy, I'm gonna new layer Lambo. We're just gonna do this with no kind of reference or anything. Just fuck it. Um, oh fuck, how do they? The front is like that, right? Right. Yeah, right. Get that. I want to look at least one image of a Lamborghini before I. Okay, yeah, this is completely different than what I was imagining in my head for some reason. Right. Okay, so fuck all this shit. So the whole thing is like one big shape, right? So you've got the hood is this one shape. You've got the wheel in the back, probably a little bit bigger of wheels, right? Yeah. Hmm. Lamborghini. Lamborghini. That's a shit Lamborghini. I gotta go to the bathroom. Um, which I have to leave the house to do because our bathroom